Mike, Hana's immigration story and her mother's life is simpler than it seems. And honestly, I read Hana's obituary for her mother, and I know how people react to Hana being Italian, but yet obviously visually Asian. Leaves people just completely confused. It seems to happen here in the U.S., and people don't have a problem with the idea that you're American-born, but yet of parents of another country. But for some reason, because it's Italy, people associate and are confused again and again. So here's a simple version. Now, Japan has this flip of the first name, last name, and so she's Kazuko. She's Matsumoto Kazuko. I'll call her Kazuko throughout the message here. So Kazuko had a childhood in Japan, which included, air raids and World War II bombings. Kazuko did not go to university. Arranged marriage with Hana's father, who was the late Haruki, and they both had a curiosity about lands beyond Japan. Yet Kazuko probably would not embarked on any international life if it had not been for Haruki. So in what I call a one-way honeymoon, they were soon after they were married, they got on a boat, and this boat was not a cruise ship, but was also not a cargo ship. It was kind of both. It had suitable passenger area for paid passengers, but it also carried cargo. And with a series of stops that included China and Southeast Asia, and maybe like Egypt, on through the Suez Canal and into the Mediterranean. There was another stop somewhere on the Mediterranean coast before southern Italy. And southern Italy became northern Italy, and then their family life began with the birth of Hajime in 1963. Mike, you were probably 64 like I am. And so Hajime, Hana's older brother, is our age. He was born in Italy, and then a handful of years later, Hana was born also in Italy. Now, their lives, Hajime and Hana, included all their schooling in university, and all that happened before Hana immigrated to the U.S. Mike, and what kind of sets Hana's immigration aside is she was not joined by family. There was no expectation that anyone would follow her, and now, decades later, nobody has. So Hana and I have been married a decade and a half, and Mike, the fondness of her mother developed in ways that I trust you can imagine. Mothers-in-law can be very close, felt like a second mother to me, and her death really had an impact on our life here together, and very personally on my life. So there's the story. Kazuko Miyajima. Mike, suddenly she became Matsumoto Kazuko again, and I think that was kind of her own casual choice. That ended up on her death certificate, which matches her birth certificate, but meanwhile important documents have her married name. So that is kind of a comical thing, but we're still having some trouble with it, with documents and reconciliation and international movement of ashes, and so it's really not that funny, but yet, knowing my mother-in-law, I truly think it's funny. Matsumoto Kazuko, a.k.a. Kazuko Miyajima,